Hi there. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to practice about a 20-minute self massage experimental movement class. And what we're going to need for today is a couple of tennis balls. And the reason why I'm choosing tennis balls is not everyone has the tune-up balls. So pretty sure we all have some little tennis balls hanging around. Grab a couple of those, as well a brick or block or whatever you've been using at home for an equivalent. A couple of hardcover books do the trick as well. And then I'm just using a towel. So we're going to be practicing the ball sort of underneath the valley of the cheek. And I don't want to have this like old tennis ball on my cheek. So I'm going to just take a towel and have that handy. So your block, a couple tennis balls, and a towel. And yeah, here we go. I don't know about you, but I have been noticing a lot lately the amount of tension I'm holding in my jaw and in my shoulders and neck. So I thought that if this is what's happening to me, I'm sure it's happening to others. So just a little bit of sharing self massage with our block and tennis balls. First, let's have a seat on the block. And I'm going to start with the legs crossed. And then taking the hands across the shoulders as well. Using the head and the eyes to move. So I'm going to lead to the left, and I'm going to start to turn my head and use my eyeballs and look up the corner of the ceiling, and then look down. And then bringing the head and the eyes back to center. And then we'll do the same thing over on the right. So using the head and the neck and the eyes, looking up, up, up. Oh, this side is a lot more of a challenge for me. And then looking down, down, down. And then bringing the eyes center and returning the head and the neck. And then I'm going to place my hands on my jaw, and I'm going to give a big yawn. So I'm going to open and release, and again. And release. Hands come away from the shoulders and the face, and just down on the mat. I'm going to unhook the feet, shimmy on over to one side, and move the block away. And then grab a hold of the tennis balls. And we're going to work the upper traps and our shoulder blades. So I'm going to come down, lying down on the mat. And I'm going to take one of the tennis balls, and I'm going to place it right where I like to think of sort of where the straps of a backpack would go. And that if someone was looking down at you, they could see sort of the tip of the tennis ball where it is underneath the shoulder. And then I'm going to do the same thing over on the other side. So I'm going to roll over and just sort of find that sweet spot there. And arms down by your sides, feet are hip width distance apart. Taking a long inhale in through the nose. And then a long exhale out. Reaching one arm up towards the ceiling. I'm going to lead with my right. So reaching a right arm up. You can feel that spot with the tennis ball. And then going ahead and doing the same thing here on the left. Reaching up. And then from here, opening the arms out to a T formation. And then the arms reach back up towards the ceiling. And then I'm going to lower one arm down. So I'm going to leave my right, lower the right arm down, palm to the ground. And then same thing with the left. And really taking your time to move through this. Tilting the pelvis and feeling that deep stretch with your low back and lumbar spine to the mat. I'm going to lift the right leg up to a tabletop. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on the left. So both legs are up to a tabletop, and take a moment and just flex the feet and point the toes. And then I'm going to reach that right arm back up towards the ceiling. And then same thing here with the left. And really trying to ease into the tennis balls. Consciously trying to soften the muscles around the eyes and face and the jaw. I'm going to release one foot down to the mat. So I'm leading with my right and lowering that down to the mat. And then releasing the left. I'm going to try to reach the arms back where they are in line-ish with the ears. I have this wall here, so my hands have to do kind of this like weird turning. But the arms are by the ears, and again, I can really feel that workspace in the shoulders with the balls. And then reaching the arms back up towards the ceiling. And then again, I'm going to reestablish my imprint and lift one leg back up to table. And then followed by the other. I'm going to lower the right foot down and lower the left arm down. And then lifting up together. So the left arm lifts, the right leg comes up. And then same thing, opposites. The left foot is going to lower down, the right arm lowers down. Whew. And we come back up together. One foot to the floor, followed by the other. And then both arms down on the mat. I'm going to come up into what I like to call sort of a lazy bridge. Connect the feet to the mat. So I'm going to come back into my pelvic tilt. And slowly lifting the hips up and up and up. Now I can feel a little bit more of that workspace with the tennis balls, with the hips up. Extending the front of the hips. And then from here, I'm going to try and reach one arm up. Ooh. And I'm going to reach the other. Breathe. And then simultaneously the arms come down. And then the hips come down, softening all of the way. The left hand comes over to grab a hold of the tennis ball underneath the right shoulder. So just sort of shimmy that out of the way. And then doing the same thing over on the left. Right hand grabs a hold. And releasing down, holding on to the tennis balls and just opening your arms back out to a T. Feels quite luxurious. I'm going to sway the knees and the hips to one side. So coming into a twist as I sway the knees and the hips over to the right. I'm just going to move that block. I'm really thinking about that left hip and allowing that left hip to draw down. And then roll past center and sway over to the left. Feeling the workspace now through the whole right side of the body. And then allowing that right hip to sink down. And then bringing the knees and the hips back to center. Okay. So I'm going to hold I almost said toning balls, the tennis balls in one hand. And then I'm going to roll up and grab a hold of the block. And I'm going to place that down on the mat and release onto it. Feels quite nice. I'm just going to scooch it back a little bit. So you got a pillow going on with your block. And then from here, I'm going to take those tennis balls and place it again right to where the straps of your backpack would be. And then again, that if someone was looking over you, they'll be able to see just the tips or the tops of your balls. And I'd like to have the palms facing up here. Just sort of notice how that feels. And let's go back and practice that jaw work. So let's give a big yawn. And release. And then one more time, that yawn. And release. Tilt the pelvis. The gentle imprint is you feel your feet connect to the mat. And then slowly begin to lift the hips up, up, up. Feeling the tennis balls. And then slowly lowering all of the way down and down and down. Reaching one arm up towards the ceiling. I'm choosing to lead with the right. And then lifting the left. Opening the arms back out to a T formation. Ooh. And then the arms reach back up towards the ceiling. And then from here, I'd like you to imagine something coming down from the ceiling and you're going to try to grab it. So I'm going to go with the right arm first. And I'm going to lift that shoulder blade slightly off of the tennis ball and reaching up. And then drawing that shoulder blade back down on the tennis ball. And then we'll do the same thing with the opposite arm. So my left arm is reaching up, up, up. Energy reaching out from the fingertips. And then lowering back down onto the tennis ball. Oh, mine split away. Okay, let's go one more time each side. And that will happen. Tennis balls will slide away. It's not a perfect science. You just put it back. Let's go with the right. Reaching up, up, up. And coming back down, down, down. And then same thing last time. Arm reaching up. Breathe. And then back down on the tennis ball. Arms down by your sides. Turning the head to the right. Allow your eyes to go with you. An invitation to maybe see something a little different in your space. And then bringing the head back. And then turning the head over to the other side. And the eyes are seeing something different here. And then bringing the head back to center. Left hand's going to reach over to grab the tennis ball underneath the right shoulder. And then the right hand's going to roll over, grab the tennis ball underneath the left shoulder. Yeah. And then I'm going to grab a hold of the block, lift the head, and slide that away. Lift the hips up, and now I'm going to slide the block. I'm choosing to have it on the lowest height, underneath the pelvis and that lumbar spine. Low back feels quite nice, and again, fiddle around with it so you find a spot for where it is on your body today. And I'm just letting the tennis balls rest down by the sides. I'm going to take that right leg back up into a tabletop, and then followed here by the left. Extending the legs up towards the ceiling. Totally fine if there's a little bend in the knee. And then bending the knees and taking the legs back to a table. Releasing one foot down to the mat, and then followed by the other. Lifting the hips back up. I'm going to walk the feet a little closer towards my seat. Hips lift up, slide the block away, and then slowly lowering and softening back down and down and down. Let's go ahead and take the hands back to the valleys of the cheeks, so sort of right underneath your cheekbones. And then let's go ahead and revisit that yawn. And release. Lengthen one leg out, lengthen the other. Reach your arms all the way back, big stretch. And then drag one foot back up along the mat, drag the other. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Open the arms out to a T. I'm going to choose to sway my knees and my hips over to the right side. And then the left arm up towards the ceiling. I'm going to slowly roll over. Both hands come down to the mat and press yourself up. And up and up. Okay. I'm going to grab a hold of the tennis balls. We actually just need one. And then I'm going to grab that block. Here's where I'm going to take the towel. And I'm going to place that towel just on top of the, actually no, let's take it and wrap it around the tennis ball. Yeah. Lying back down. I'm on the right side, and I'm going to take my head on the block. Yeah. And then I'm going to grab a hold of the tennis ball, and I'm going to find that valley underneath the cheekbone, and I'm going to place that tennis ball there. And again, finding that spot and breathe. One more big full breath in. And full breath out. And then I'm just going to start to roll and have that tennis ball roll along the valley of the cheek, side to side. Yeah. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself, Why don't I do this every day? Maybe I will now. Nah, no. Maybe 3 times a week. Let's try for that. And we'll go like this for 3. You can close your eyes if you wish. For 2. And then 1 more time. If your eyes were closed, just fluttering the eyes open. And then I'm going to take my left hand to the tennis ball and just gently begin to lift the head up, move the tennis ball to the side, and then just lower the head back down on the block. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And then that left arm is going to open out to the side and you twist and rotate. I like to think sort of like a page of a book, opening, opening, opening. And you go to where your shoulder goes. Your hand may come to the ground, may not. And then reaching the left arm back up. The eyes follow. And then we sort of close the page of the book as that left arm comes all of the way down. And then drag that left hand in. And you're going to press yourself up. Sort of lift the head up. Sort of roll over and very lazy-like. Come up, up, up. And then switch sides. So I'm going to take the block over to the other side and have the tennis ball and towel close. And then release down onto the block, having your knees bent. Legs can be very relaxed. You can have one knee in front if that feels better, or just stacking knee on top of knee. And then I'm going to lift the head up and sort of like find that valley on the cheekbone here, underneath the cheekbone. Grab a hold of the tennis ball, find that there, and then release down on it. Mm-hmm. And then from here, let's take that big position of that yawning here. So we're going to yawn, jaw opens, and then release. Let's go one more time. And release. And then you're just going to start to roll side to side. And that tennis ball rolling along the valley of your cheek. Yeah. And we'll go a couple more times. And then from here, that right hand grabs a hold of the towel and your tennis ball and lifting the head up, taking it off to the side, and then just lowering your head back down. Top arm, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to open that page of the book. So we're going to twist and twist and twist. And again, maybe the hand comes to the floor, or maybe not. Not good, bad, right, or wrong. And then the right arm reaches back up. And we'll close the page of the book and go all the way over. Take your long breath in. Longer breath out. Reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. And then the right arm comes down. And slowly begin to sort of roll over onto that right side. Pick yourself up. And up and up. Yeah. And then grab a hold of your block. Let's go and have a seat on the block and sit cross-legged. Placing both hands to the valleys of the cheeks and just giving a little massage, circle around one direction, and then circle around in the opposite direction. Breath in, breath out. And then from here, the hands come away from the cheeks. Let's go back and have them cross over our shoulders and revisit one of the things we did at the very beginning. So using the head and using the eyes, I'm going to lead to the left. So I'm going to turn, 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 and then lift the eyes up to the corner of the room and just check in and notice, do you have a little bit more space for your eyeballs to see and move, and the neck? And then bringing the head back down, back to center. And then going over to the right, and then looking up, up, up. Oh. And then bringing the eyes back to the middle, and the head back to center. Arms release down by your sides. Some of my favorite head and neck exercises. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, and then the right hand comes over to the temple on the left side, and just allow the head to drop over to the right, and feeling all through the left side. That workspace there, taking a breath in. Long exhale out. Slowly bringing the head back up to center. And the right arm reaches up, and the right arm comes down. The left arm reaches up. Left hand goes over to find that right temple, and then guiding the head down, not trying to force it. And again, feeling it all through right side. Breath in, breath out, and the head comes back. The left arm comes up, and the left arm comes down. Let's go ahead and revisit our last yawn here. And release. How does the jaw feel now? Last time. I think I said last time, the last time, but I promise last time. Reach. And release. Arms reach up. Breath in. Exhale, arms come down. Shrug the shoulders up. Release the shoulders down. Shrug the shoulders up. And let the shoulders go. Yeah. And that's it. So a little bit of a movement snack, experimental class with tennis balls and block, moving the jaw, the neck, the head, some gentle twisting. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.